This is a review of the TT Artisans dot sight. Now, when I was asked to review this, I was a bit skeptical. I had heard of red dot sights before, but wasn't really sure that it would be something useful for me. But using it a fair bit over these past couple of weeks, I've come to rely on it, and it is kind of enjoyable to use. Okay, so what is a red dot sight? Simply put, it is a sight that sits on top of your camera that has a red dot. Compared to the viewfinder of your camera, which is like looking through a peephole, the red dot sight allows you to see much more of your environment. Now, it doesn't zoom in to match the focal length and the camera doesn't control it, but it allows you to have more spatial awareness of the scene and your subject. These images were all shot using the red dot sight. These are small birds in a busy scene, and using the sight made them a lot easier to see. It lets tracking birds in flight be a lot easier as well, especially if it's calibrated correctly. Seeing more of the scene lets you predict where the bird will be moving. So let's have a look at it, get it calibrated, then jump out into the field and give it a try. This red dot sight has a universal hot shoe, so it will fit all cameras. I just lock it in and that's it. To open the sight, I press the button here, and on the back you will notice these three buttons. They are color change to either red or green. I like to have red, but depending on your location, it can't hurt to change to what suits best. These two buttons are your brightness. This is up and this is down. And on the left and right hand sides are dials to move the dot around the screen. Calibrating is quite easy. Firstly, I make sure my camera is on a tripod and level. Then I set my lens to my preferred focal length, which is, for example, 600mm. I make sure the autofocus is in the center of the screen. Now I match the red dot to the same area that the focus point is sitting on. And I do this with the dials here. So I'm moving it to the right, and then I move it down to the middle. This seems about right. And that's all there is to it to calibrate it. Now, let me explain the field of view. This is my viewfinder and it is quite narrow and is a cropped view. Compared to the red dot sight, it lets me see the entire scene. So imagine my trusty assistant here takes flight. I can track him and predict his flight through the sight. Alright, so that's pretty much it. I've calibrated it to 600mm. Now all I have to do now is go out into the field and put it to use. Alright, so I'm out here just photographing some magpies this morning. Got it lined up on probably maybe 20 meters away from this guy here. So what I'm doing is I will put my cameras on there. My red dot sight is on him. As you can see, the viewfinder, it's on the bird there, and I just make sure it's all tracking properly. Now that is the view, so you might not be able to see the red dot there, but that is on the bird on the soccer nets there. As you can see on the left and the right, I have more spatial sort of awareness of my environment that I'm shooting, which is very good for tracking. So what I'm going to do, let me just adjust that up here. So I'm going to look through the red dot sight. My dot is on the bird. It's all calibrated that I've done before. I know because the dot is on the bird, my camera will be looking at it. As you can see through the viewfinder, I just do my back button focusing and done. That's as easy as it is. So that's pretty much it. So now we have one to the left. He's probably more 50 meters. So what I will do now is rearrange it. I'll check my red dot sight. I'll just recalibrate it just a little bit. Okay. Okay, so that's the sight's on the bird. And I'm just double checking with the screen here. Yep. Easy. Absolutely easy.
The best thing about the red dot sight is the quick acquisition of any subjects in the area. I can look up, okay, all right, red dot sights on it, boom. It's a really handy little piece of kit that, adds a lot and saves a lot of heartache trying to find, birds in the wilderness and in the landscape. Great stuff, really good. I just want to do this guy again. So let me bring it up. Red dot sight is on him. I'll just move him just to the left a little bit. Down, boom. Exactly the same location. Red dot sight's on his chest. That's on his chest. Easy, absolutely easy. So that is, I'm not sure if you can see the red dot sight there, but take my word for it, there's a red dot on a black bird. There's not much really to it, you just have to make sure that it's calibrated correctly. When it's not calibrated, it's not going to be pointing in the same direction as the camera, and your focus will be all over the place. But if you calibrate it, it is easy and something that won't give you any heartache down the track.
So there you go, the TT Artisans dot sight, a very specialised piece of gear that isn't an everyday thing, but one to be used in certain situations. As I said, using it over these past couple of weeks has been a blast and something I will probably even purchase for myself. And speaking of price, it is an extremely affordable $53. That's right, $53. Now the good, it's small and compact, it's easy to set up and configure, it's handy in certain situations, it's useful when using a longer telephoto lens, and it's easier to locate and track subjects. And the price, $53. Now on to the bad, I don't really have anything negative to say about it. This is a fun piece of gear and I recommend checking it out and adding it to your setup for those certain situations. As I said, it's not an everyday thing, but in certain spots it can be quite handy. Plus it's only $53, so you can't go wrong. As usual, thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Cheers.